Hey, howdy friends, got a quick headphone review for you today. We are going to look at the DT700 Pro X, right? Beyerdynamic's new kind of closed back, entry-level, studio-oriented headphone. We'll look at build, we'll look at accessories, we'll look at all that stuff, and of course we'll talk about sound, and we'll compare it to its older brother, the 770. So, let's dive into what you get with this. And I would say largely most of the updates are, in my mind, a good thing on this guy, right? So if we think about what it comes with, number one, removable cable. Fantastic, right? It's 3-pin, kind of mini XLR, which I'm not a huge fan of, but, it is what it is. It's fine. It comes with two cables. One's about, one of them's about 6 feet long. The other one is maybe double that or 10 feet. I didn't measure it, but it's longer. Okay, comes with both those. Also comes with a, I don't even know what this material is called, like a neoprene bag to carry it in if you want to. It's all good. The big bonus here is the detachable cables. The rest is a more modern looking Beyerdynamic closed back. It's a little more, it doesn't have the texture on the cups. It's still got metal yokes. Padding up here is fine. It's not like a removable headband the way the other one was. I don't know. It's all fine. It's comfy. It's good. It feels nice to wear. It's probably not as comfy as I would say as the previous generation, but at the same time, it does kind of look more modern and I don't know. It's a preference thing, okay? The detachable cable is the big deal for me because the 770 that I have, which we'll be talking about, is the 770 Pro 80 ohm, but it has only the huge long cable on it, which annoys me to no end, right, when I use it. So just having that detachable cable is great. Pads are comfy, it isolates well. It seems like it's well built, right? I think it's going to be a great studio use headphone. The other big thing with these guys, these new models, the 700 Pro X and the 900 Pro X, is they are very, very, very easy to drive, like incredibly easy to drive. So I was driving them off. I've got the Hifi Go link in for review, and I was driving these off of that today, and then I switched to a set of high-EMs, the Kiwi Ears Cadenza, which is amazing, and I'll review that here shortly. And I didn't have to change the volume level. That's how sensitive these things are. They are super, super sensitive. What that means though is they aren't like the play with tubes type of headphones that the previous generation was, because they're so sensitive. I didn't find these to play well with tubes. I couldn't even listen to them on the Quicksilver because they're too sensitive, and the hum was glaring on these guys. But what's good news though is that you're not going to need much for an amp, if any amp, to drive them. I mean, I always recommend something external from phones or laptops or whatever, just because I think you're going to get better audio quality with a dedicated DAC amp, but any type of dongle or anything like that is going to be totally fine for these guys, okay? So sound wise, I think for the price. Now, here's the deal. Pricing, if you pay full price for these, I'm not quite sure about that. But I bought mine open box, like B stock or whatever, from Beyerdynamic, both these and my 900X for $150 or less. So that would be the way I would recommend you look for them. And at that price, I think these are quite the studio closed back headphone. I think their sound signature is definitely that. It's very clean, very neutral, a lot of focus on clarity. Not the most resolving things in the world. There's good imaging in that you have spatial information. I thought they were good for gaming, pretty good for gaming. But here's the big holdup with them, right? Is they're a little sterile. They don't have, and when I was trying to put my finger on what it was about them that bothered me or didn't quite bring me in, is while they have directional imaging, they don't have, like, you can't hear the space in between things, which for me is oftentimes like what I think really like pulls you in to something. So I think for something like, if you're looking at these for, you know, you're an on-the-go DJ or music producer or something like that, and you're looking for something that's just like studio neutral, going to be accurate, going to be clear, going to be clean, I think these are definitely that. I don't think they're the most engaging, enjoyable sound signature, but they're easy to use and listen to, and they're not fatiguing, which when I compare them to the 770s, like, these guys get fatiguing. These guys have more bass, they have more sparkle, but they're also more interesting, I think, for music listening. Now, if I had to pick one that I would listen to forever, it would definitely be the 700X, because I get fatigued after listening to the 770s after a while. But in short-term listening sessions, I think I prefer the 770. Just, I think it's more interesting, and it gives me a little bit more of that atmosphere that I really enjoy. And I think this one here, the 770s, I think for their price, for a closed back, I think they do some pretty special sound staging and stuff like that that you don't find often at a closed back in this price range. Whereas the 700X is a more easy to listen to, more accurate, probably more balanced frequency response, but it doesn't have the same interesting, engaging sound, and doesn't have the same kind of atmospheric presentation. So I did a test here where I was testing like a bunch of these Beyerdynamics for gaming on Call of Duty, and I thought the 700X performed well, but I think ultimately I would go with the 770 for gaming as well. So the 700X for me, it's a win for Beyerdynamic, I think. It's updated look. I like the look. It's comfortable. Removable cable, all that's good. But I think mainly these being so easy to drive and feeling very neutral and accurate and clean and clear, I think a lot of people will enjoy them if that's the kind of sound you're looking for and you don't want to spend a bunch of money on a DAC amp. What I would say if you have a 770 already is, as long as you don't get too fatigued by it and you enjoy the sound of it, I think, I'm not sure, it's not like an upgrade to the 700X as far as sound quality goes, but it's definitely different and definitely probably a more neutral, easier to recommend headphone, the 700X, if you're looking for accuracy and balance overall. But I love them both, honestly, and really I'm pretty impressed with like the DT770 and how well it's held up over the years, if I'm being totally honest. Like, I still think that's a great, interesting entry-level headphone for both music listening and probably mastering and gaming. Like, it's just a good do-it-all headphone that's a closed back, and you can pick them up for like I think I bought mine for $80 or something on the used market, right? So 700 Pro X, it's good, it's different, it's good neutral, all that stuff. I wouldn't pay like $250, $300 for it, but if you can find one for $150, sure, give it a shot. And I think that's going to wrap it up. So, your impressions? You have a 770, you tried the 700X. How do you feel about them, right? I also have the 900X, which I'll be reviewing here before too long, and I'll compare that to the 990s. That one I think is a little more clean cut, but I'm going to leave you on the cliffhanger for that one, and you'll have to come back to watch it. So, hopefully I'll see you in that one. As always, I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one.